Into another episode of the Game of Cryptos. I hope you guys are all doing well. Appreciate you guys tuning in. I'm going to apologize in advance if you guys hear me sniffle or sneeze. I've been a little under the weather lately, which is one reason why I haven't had much content this week, so I do apologize. Just wanted to kick things off just going over the crypto bubbles. As you can see, a lot of things overall for the crypto market cap are generally green right now. We've seen Bitcoin go up to around 63,000, which is done really well for our altcoins. And as you guys might have seen in my previous video, if you haven't, I highly recommend you guys going and checking out for those of you that are maybe new to the channel. But my most recent video before this one was just going over the top 100 cryptos by market cap, and in it I disclosed, which cryptos I would get in based on someone getting into market right now. And just to add a comment to that, based on feedback, based on a lot of people in the comments, not a lot, but some, it did seem like some people were a little offended that like, oh, why are you telling people not to get into Bitcoin? Why are you telling them not to get into Ethereum? The point of that video was someone getting into the market now and someone getting into the market right now that is really looking for that chance at trying to get closer to financial freedom. Right now is not, I will stand strong and say this again. Right now is not the time to get into Bitcoin if you're someone that's trying to, make a 5x, a 10x and make good money. The time to get into Bitcoin was when Bitcoin was at 15.5, guys, not at 62,000. It's like a 4x higher. It just depends on what your goal is, though. So I can't say exactly it's not the time, but it depends on what your goal is. If you're someone that's just DCing into Bitcoin and you're never going to sell no matter, if it's up high or low, then sure, go ahead. But if you're someone that's looking for a 5x, a 10x, you don't want to look at Bitcoin. You don't want to look at Ethereum. But again, definitely go and check that video out for those of you that didn't see, because I do make valid points into other cryptos as to, why am I choosing this altcoin but not that altcoin. And there's only 8 of them in the top 100. But anyways, moving on in the video, I always like to, I'm going to start doing this more because I used to do this earlier in my channel, is I would go on Twitter or X and I would read over a couple posts, usually stuff that's, maybe inspirational, a quote or whatnot. Two of them I have 2 of them here for you today. One of them's from Da Vinci Jeremy, the guy that told everyone just go and buy $1 worth of Bitcoin, or go and buy, a Bitcoin when it was really cheap. He says you can change your life and build generational wealth very soon if you play your cards right. This is true. Right now we are we have the opportunity of a lifetime, guys, to make potentially generational wealth, depending on how much money that you guys are able to put in the market, whether it's a couple grand, 10,000, whatever. People have a chance to, there is still a really good chance, depending on what altcoins you're in, to get a solid 10x across the board. Now, obviously, like I said, it's not going to be if you're in plays like Bitcoin or Ethereum, but if you're a little bit further on in the market caps, you can still do really well in this bull run. You can turn 10 grand into 100 grand. It just really depends on, how much are you putting in and how high of a conviction do you have, because there's still going to be a little bit of turbulent times leading up to the top of the bull market, whether that's going to be towards the end of March in 2025, or if that's going to be later on in the year in October and November. So right now we are on the cusp of a really good opportunity. And with that generational wealth, this is going to the next quote by K on X. It says, generational wealth starts with one confident risk taker. We are so early in crypto, and by being for you who is watching this video, you're probably one of the only people in your group that is invested in crypto, and it can feel lonely. We're lone wolves in this in this industry, and yeah, some people are part of like groups and whatnot to make you not feel alone, but you get my point. It's gonna take us being trailblazers, being the first ones to get into crypto, and then when your friends and your family start seeing you make money, that's when more and more people start flowing into crypto. So right now we're early because those people that come in later at their market peak are going to be the exit liquidity. And that's just how the dice rolls. That's just how it happens. The earlier you are into an asset, the more money you're going to make, versus if you're someone that comes in towards the top, towards the end, when you've heard it from 20 other people, it's probably already late. But if you're one of the first people, that risk taker, you're going to more than likely be rewarded. So just remember that, guys. Right now we're still early. This bull run I don't think is anywhere near close to being done, and yeah, I think we're in for the treat for the rest of this year, especially when it comes to gains. Moving on in this content, today's video is just going to be some of the things going on in the market, some statistics with Bitcoin, just to kind of refresh you guys on some stuff. So this is from Binance, a visual, and it's showing that, let me move this. You see these two yellow people right here. So only 1/4% of people in the global population will ever own a Bitcoin. Not 1% of the population, 1/4%. About a 0.27%. That's absolutely insane, guys. That is showing you how rare Bitcoin is as a crypto asset. And again, just like I said previously, the earlier you are to something, the more likely you are you're going to be rewarded, because you got into it earlier before price goes up. And later in the future, who knows, Bitcoin could be, they've made projections that Bitcoin could be at $1 million by like 2030. The earlier you're into something now, the more you get to reap those benefits later. So it shows you how rare it is right now for people that can even own one Bitcoin, and eventually just owning 0.1 Bitcoin or 0.01 Bitcoin is going to be a very big deal. Again, speaking about Bitcoin and this adoption, just look at Bitcoin versus the internet adoption and see how Bitcoin has just been overall exponentially just going up, and actually it's been beating the internet user adoption rate. And as the years keep going on, Bitcoin's going to only grab more and more attraction. It's like a black hole. It's just going to bring everyone and everything to it, because as inflation goes up, as the government and they keep printing more money, it's going to be devaluing your dollar, and people are going to be looking for ways to hedge that, ways to hedge their dollars, ways to increase purchasing power. And Bitcoin is the thing that it's giving you a chance to get ahead. It's giving you a second chance. It's banking the unbanked. It's giving you that purchasing power. So, and of course, guys, Bitcoin is, we love our altcoins, but Bitcoin is important. Without Bitcoin if Bitcoin doesn't perform well, our altcoins are not going to perform well at all in this bull run. So, never forget how important Bitcoin is to this industry. This visual, I thought it was pretty funny. It's from The Simpsons, and it says, "I will not sell my Bitcoin to Michael Saylor. I will not sell my Bitcoin to Michael Saylor." Just recently, Michael Saylor, MicroStrategy, they purchased more Bitcoin. And this is just important overall, just to show you how important it is to hold your crypto. Not even just Bitcoin, but being your sole owner of your crypto. Especially if you have your crypto in cold storage. It's really important, guys, to be your own bank. You want to be, yes, with that, it takes a lot of responsibility, and there is risk because, people can lose their seed phrase and all that. But overall, this is a time to dig deep and take control of your finances. Don't give it to the big guys. Don't give it to BlackRock. They're taking any opportunity they can to do well. Excuse me. to take your paper hands when you sell. When you sell, they're buying it up, and guess what? They're making more money for themselves, and you just lost out on a chance to make some good money. So just a quick reminder for you guys. I hope that just kind of hits home and makes sense. Other news, other updates. I know a lot of you know that the iPhone 16 is either coming out or is out, and this is just showing you how over time the Bitcoin valuation of how much it actually costs to buy an iPhone in Bitcoin is going down, and that's because Bitcoin is giving you greater purchasing power over time. Back in when iPhone 4 came out, it cost you almost 3,000 Bitcoins. Now an iPhone would only cost you about 0.01 or so of a Bitcoin. That is just showing you that Bitcoin gives you more money in your pocket. It costs less to basically get the same thing that would have cost you more back in the day. So this is why you hold in an asset that is not being debased, is not being printed like the US dollar and the fiat. The more the government is printing, the less purchasing power you have, the more you spend for a certain product. That's why people are experiencing that's why we're experiencing inflation. People were like, well, back in the day, this used to cost this, and now I'm spending double, triple. That's what inflation does, and this is why we need to be in a hard asset such as Bitcoin and just crypto in general. Moving on. So I'm sure a lot of you guys have seen this chart. This is just showing you again, guys, we are early, blue line, right when the halving happens. And as you can see, every time after halving, market goes up. And we are on the cusp of really that market go up moment, that banana zone moment. We really are, yes, things can still be a little choppy here and there, but especially for the rest of Q4 of 2024 into 2025, I think we're in for some really good price action when it comes to Bitcoin. And of course, with Bitcoin price action going up, that means that the altcoins are going to go up. And again, this is just showing you the Bitcoin market cycles and how we are still really low on this chart. Yes, the rate of how much returns for each cycle is getting lower, but we are still due for a really good pump. So just look into that. U.S. elections, we are getting closer to November, guys, and there's a correlation between the elections and then price going up. That, yes, going into elections, we do usually see price movement going upwards, but then there's even more movement after. And arguably, if Donald Trump becomes president, the market is going to be ridiculously greener than it would be if it was Kamala. That's just overall just consensus news, not telling people to pick one or the other, but if you're someone that likes crypto, you would probably be hoping that Donald Trump wins. So yeah, guys, that's basically it for this video. I will be doing more videos in the next couple weeks. I know I want to start going over just certain cryptos, portfolio setups, and just kind of really helping you guys out, kind of basically get ready for the rest of this bull run, to be settled into your picks, because there will become a point, guys, where you don't want to keep adding to your bag of different altcoins. Eventually, you have to be okay with what you have and just kind of sit on your hands and let it be. I'll give you an analogy. It's just like in school when you're taking a test, and let's say that test is timed. Eventually, the time is up, and you're going to have to turn that test in, and you're going to have to be happy with what you put down on that. And that's exactly what it is for your crypto portfolios. We're going to have to just have to let the market ride out and hope that we did our research right. hope that we did our homework right to prepare for this bull run, to prepare for this test. And only after this bull run, after the dust settles, after Bitcoin reaches its all-time highs in price discovery and in the blow-off top, when the market's in the blow-off top, only then will we realize, how good we did on the cryptos, on our portfolio. So, yeah, guys, I hope this video was informative. Again, I apologize, I've been a little sick, so the content hasn't been as frequent, but I do want to get back on that. And again, I want to start going over more cryptos with you guys and just portfolio stuff here in the near future. Thank you guys for tuning in, and I will catch you guys in the next one.